Democrats that put the Democrats in the White House.
Who taught you to hate the color of your skin? Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Most of us blacks, or Negroes as he called us, really thought we were free without being aware that in our subconscious, all those chains we thought had been struck off were still there. And there were many ways where what really motivated us was our desire to be loved by the white man. Malcolm meant to lance that sense of inferiority. He knew it would be painful. He knew that people could kill you because of it, but he dared to take that risk.
He was saying something over and above that of any other leader of that day. While the other leaders were begging for entry into the house of their oppressor, he was telling you to build your own house.
Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. It's not easy. If it was easy, there'd be no Kerry Washington. If it was easy, there'd be no Taraji Henson, P. Henson. If it were easy, there'd be no Octavia Spencer. But not only that, if it were easy, there'd be no Viola Davis. If it were easy, there'd be no Michael T. Williamson, no Stephen McKinley Henderson, no Russell Hornsby. If it were easy, there'd be no Denzel Washington. So, keep working, keep striving, never give up, fall down 7 times, get up 8. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. So, keep moving, keep growing, keep learning. See you at work.
We tend to base our self-esteem on what other people think. And that's not really self-esteem. Self-esteem is supposed to be how we feel about ourselves. And I was just saying how dangerous it is to allow other people to determine how you're going to feel about you. And it's kind of like looking into a broken mirror. You're going to look in a broken mirror and then change your face to try to look good in this defiled, busted, broken mirror. And it just, other people's opinions is a really shitty way to determine how we feel about ourselves.
Hooty-hoo. Welcome to the final No PC show of the decade. I was trying to decide, was I going to do something next week or not, but that's going to be Christmas, and I just want everybody to enjoy themselves. And we will be coming back at our new time. We'll be starting at 8 o'clock, starting next year in 2020, the year of vision, saying what's up to the people out there on the Facebook side. Hopefully next year, more people will join on the YouTube side. So Sister Bridget, hello. Brother Lawrence, he's out there, hello. Welcome to the No PC show. Tonight we're just going to talk a little bit. That clip I was playing was some quotes from Denzel Washington and Will Smith on how we operate as black people and how we see ourselves as black people in this country. And this whole decade, this last decade, we'll say from 2008 when President Obama got elected, we'll give him respect today, to now with the pending impeachment of Donald Trump. Has been over a decade of, I want to say, somber awakening for black people, because we had a black president for 8 years and we got nothing. And now we have a radical orange man running around like a man-child, destroying policies and everything and making everything right for the wealthy and the rich, while at the same time undercutting the civil rights of black people in this country. The moral standards for what it means to hold the office of president have now been so soiled that it was just almost a relief the other day to watch them vote to impeach. But there was one big reminder that these people, the Republicans that so many people want to love, were still protecting this man to the bitter end and had venom in their mouths toward anybody that had something to say about the way that this man was conducting business, because as he ran on and as he said, he's going to make America great again. And I'm going to help the blacks too. So go back and listen to all the speeches. We're going to make America great again, and we're going to help the blacks too. I don't want nobody to be missed by that. And so we can segue into the biggest issue that has befell us in the last 5 or 6 decades in this country. It's the economic racial gap. And we like to pretend that it doesn't exist, but it does. Even a posting that was done in Forbes magazine. Now, if you're on the Facebook side, you can't see the graphics, and that's why we would love for everyone to go to YouTube, type in the No PC Show, all one word, and click the notification bell and click the join bell. We'd love to have you. It's about 87 people in the group right now. And compared to a lot of people, that may not be enough. I said, well, that's 87 people that want to hear the truth. We can't worry about those that aren't clicking and aren't joining and aren't getting the message. This show is only for enlightenment purposes, to hopefully that you hear something that I say and it motivates you in a mindset. We're calling the next decade, 2020, the decade of evolutionary and revolutionary thinking, because we have to do something in this country to close this racial wealth gap. And it doesn't suffice that for a few people doing well, that should make up for all that we suffer in this country. A lot of times people have thrown all these different stats to you. Oh, well, there's out of these 27 million corporations, or not 27 million corporations, out of all the, it's about, well, according to, and I don't have the stat in front of me, I wrote it down. Out of all the corporations in the United States, we make up about 9%. And we employ a little less than 1 million people with that 9% of the corporations. But people will tell you, well, black folks are doing great. How are you doing great at 9%? And everybody else is at 30, 40, 50%. But this is some of the stuff that they will try to convince you is right. In this Forbes article, it said, it's a sobering, the racial wealth gap addressing America's most pressing epidemic. So in Forbes magazine, it's saying this is America's most pressing epidemic. It is a sobering reminder of how far we are from true equality. After these declines, the median white household will own 86 times more wealth than its black counterparts and 68 times more wealth than its Latino counterparts. What's up, Carl? Cuz. So let's talk about that. Like I said, we own 9% of the corporations in this country and employ less than 900,000 people. Now, a lot of this employment is not high employment. You have to look at the educational part of it all, where we are being priced out of education. And even if you get the education, it is an education to help them for the most part. So tell me again, why are black people paying for education in America? I don't get it. Well, I do get it. Because we still need to create barriers that keep you from trying to compete or be equal with us. Doesn't make a difference. You just read it in Forbes magazine. The median white household will own 86 times more wealth than its black counterpart. That's already happening. Donald Trump is making sure that happens by giving tax cuts to the rich, employing all his friends, letting them all know, hey, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to run it. Get your pocketbooks out. We're going to get this money. What they going to do to us? We above the law. I'm the president. He been running roughshod over everybody, right? When it comes down to it, and I'm going to try to make this as clear as I can, we are and have been in a situation for years in this country, and I think part of the issue is that we keep insisting that we want to be fair. Fair is a place where they judge pigs, as far as I'm concerned. There's no fairness in the capitalist society. Capitalism basically says, whatever and however I can do it, I'm going to do it, and let the chips fall where they may. When these people talking about where you guys got corporations and things like that, they always talk about the high end and the high end people. Well, look at Oprah, look at Tyler Perry. All these people are successful. Yeah, and all of them have kissed the ring. I'm not even going to get on Oprah today because now she's coming out with another documentary. And I don't care if you come out with documentaries about stuff that black people have done. Be equal with your white friends, with the Weinsteins and such others that help you to achieve what you've so-called achieved. Like I say, with your life, have a purpose. Going into 2020, I just want to encourage everybody not to just change your own life, but search to change other lives, to enlighten someone mentally or stimulate them in some way that's going to get our mindsets to not be so clouded with not so much religion, but don't let our religion stop us from getting what we deserve out of this society. I made a comment on a show some years ago, and this is probably like the fourth or fifth year. Well, this is the third year for the No PC show. But prior to even giving the show a name, I had another channel for 2 years doing work on there. So there was a statement about slavery and slave revolts. And some white folks got offended because I said, if a slave breaks loose and kills people, it is within his right. I don't know if God's going to look bad upon it, because I don't believe God said you should be a slave and you should stay a slave. And if you kill the person who has enslaved you, you're going to hell. I don't believe that. So when Nat Turner had his revolt and was killing folks, and then he killed some babies and children too, and some of the slaves said, whoa, wait a minute now. Why are we killing the babies? And he said, well, you know who they're going to grow up to be. They're going to be raised in a sick society to carry on the same abuse that we are enduring. This is the same mentality that we discuss here all the time. That's a history of economic racism, starting with slavery. What's up, Tom? Slavery was the major economic of the United States of America. And prior to releasing us from slavery, with that promise of that 40 acres and a mule, look it up. The year before the Emancipation Proclamation in 1862, your favorite president, your savior, Abe Lincoln, gave away over 200 million acres of land. It's called the Homestead Act. To, I don't want to call them degenerate white folks, to white folks across this country. They basically took it from Indians, but then they gave the Indians a little bit. Then they turned around and told the Indians, y'all need to share with the Negroes, the black folks, because we ain't giving them nothing. Racism did not exist prior to the end of slavery. We were 100% employed during slavery, wasn't we? Everybody had a job to do, and you had to do it for free. So the economics, when they talk about, well, the Industrial Revolution came along and we didn't have slaves then, and the economy took off. Where'd you get the money for all that? Cotton, tobacco, sugar, wool, all the stuff that was going on the plantation, right? How much do we get paid? Oh, but you don't have any time to discuss anything that's got to do with any type of form of reparations for black people, Bernie Sanders. This is the No PC show, so I could care less about how Jews feel about what I'm about to say. The Holocaust is not the greatest tragedy that happened on this continent, on this planet. the destruction of 65 million black people is. And it was done over centuries. Not a decade, centuries. And we count all our brothers and sisters, whether they wound up in South America, Jamaica, Cuba, wherever they wound up. And then you'll hear these people, well, you know, it's the black people. They helped in this with slavery. You know, they captured and they sold them into slavery. Did they have boats to take people from the shore of Africa and bring them here? Did they have a hand in that? No. So just like you did the Indians, you did the same thing there. So we don't want to hear black people had a hand in this. We don't want to hear slavery existed all throughout the world. We're talking about what happened here in this country. So I don't care about Democrats or Republicans. If y'all not voting on reparations, what do I care what else you're doing? Malcolm had a saying. They go through all the policies, all the bills, everything they want to do, they talk about and they pass it, and then they come to you and they tell you, we don't have anything. They get elected because of you, Kennedy and all these other people. Oh, we just love Kennedy. He was a great person. He really was a friend to the black people. I don't recall Kennedy signing any civil rights bills. Seems like the only time he got involved is if some black people uprise, then he was sending some federal troops. So they played this game. They played this game with King because they were more interested in the passivity of Negroes. Because as we were passive Negroes, they continued to build more wealth, create more ghettos, widening the gap. So how else can we have a gap of the average? And when we say average, they're taking all us as blacks together, and then they're dividing that. The average black person, if somebody came and said, let me hold 500. 500, are you crazy? You're insane. Let me get 300. 300? Are you kidding? We live in check to check. Even if you got a better credit score, you're going to pay more for that house. You're going to pay more for that car. We talked about one day on the show. Oh, y'all Americans. Y'all want to be like us? Okay. Here's a student loan for you. Here's a car loan for you. Here's a house loan for you. You's a good old American now, boy. We're going to let you share all the problems. And since you's an American, we don't pay reparations to Americans. Why would we do that? That don't make no sense. Because we already know, fresh out of slavery, you ain't got no land. You ain't got no tools. You ain't got no education. You ain't got no general wealth. You ain't got nothing. So we're going to put you out here in the world to fend for yourself, boy. And we're going to create a whole system and a whole thing of black rules that will disenfranchise you and force you to live in ghettos. Force you to the point of you can't stand each other because we destroyed who you were as a people before you got here. So we didn't teach you to be together. That was beat out of you. If I catch any of you Negroes, or niggas as they used to call us on the plantation, congregating, talking, reading, having any type of good time unless the good old master tell you to, I'm going to beat you. What willingness say? Take the biggest, strongest nigga, tar and feather him and stand them in between two horses. Slap the horses going in opposite directions. Do this in front of the other male and female Negroes. This was to instill fear into the black man and fear into the black woman. So she will automatically start rearing her children to be obedient to the master. So what was that all about? Removing the black man from the home. If you want this help from the government that has put you in this situation, oh, let's destroy the black people. We didn't kill all the leaders. We got them all, and all the ones that they really like, Du Bois and Booker T. You know, all those that fought for justice and got their heads bashed in and went to jail, and King and Medgar Evers and, you know, Malcolm and the Black Panthers, and then the last person we got was Fred Hampton. He was the last person of the 60s, the last civil rights person of the 60s to be murdered. We took care of all that. Jesse, he wanted to play ball, so we'll mess with Jesse. We only want to deal with passive Negroes that will not stand up, that will not declare their manhood, that will instead say, let's just wait on Jesus. Jesus don't want us to act like these people. You're going to get your stuff in the afterlife. There's two gods out here. I keep asking this question every week because obviously it's got to be another God, because these people, the same people that put you in this position, that have forced you not to have anything of your own, they pray to the God too. And obviously their God is okay with what they do. So don't think that there's a conscience somewhere with a lot of these people. It is amazing to work in a corporate environment and you see it. The higher ups, they can play the role of, I'm not a racist. We're not racist. This company is not racist. We were not founded with this slavery. We moved this company up north to get away from that slavery. You have a fair chance here as any other, as long as you stay in your place, nigger. Share a story here. 1992, I got out of DeVry. Prior to DeVry, I went to another computer school called the Illinois School of Commerce. So I completed 2 schools of computer training by 1992. By 1999, I go to work for a company. 1998. I go 99. I go to work for a company. Biggest idiots in the world. Nobody knows anything about computers. I'm sitting in meetings saying, what is this? How is this a computer department, but we don't use any technology? So I got to work creating databases and all this other type of stuff and getting it in order. I set up 4 different offices. Everything. You know what happened? We don't like smart niggas. We don't care what you've done for this company. We're the bosses. So as the bosses, we don't have to answer any questions. We don't have to acknowledge any of your work. What you gonna do? Because we already know the system that's set up for you to fail if you keep messing with us. Your success is based on what we say is your success. Mr. Chan says, black people are the only people that fight to stay under their oppressors. Chinese just live by a different philosophy. Are they smarter than us? No. But they still have a connection to China. Of course, they have a connection to their heritage. And they have a plan. Here's a little bit of their plan. They insist on getting your education. Number one, not just getting an education, but getting a superior education. Get all A's. You might as well commit Harry Carey if you got a B, because you're not competing. I have a Chinese friend, and she was a lawyer here in Chicago, but she told me, that doesn't mean anything. We have to pass the New York or the California exam, or it means nothing to our parents. What? And she was distraught because she hadn't passed it yet. Her father wrote code for the space shuttle. Is there anything wrong with insisting that our kids behave the same way? Well, these white people that educated our kids aren't going to do it. I never heard such nonsense that goes on now. Well, now there's the B honor roll. The who? The B honor roll. What the hell is that? Well, they got all B's. Isn't that incredible? No, it's not incredible. What are you talking about? B honor roll. Get out of here. See, we all up and roar about everything else. We should have been like, hell no, we don't want to be on a roll. Our kids need to know the reality of life. Our standards need to be high. So when I say we're going into this decade of evolutionary and revolutionary thinking, we have to start demanding more of ourselves, demanding more of our children, and demanding more of our government. There are plenty of people, you want to go out here and play these political games with these people? Then play them for our benefit. We can't keep coming up short like we're coming up short on this marijuana thing, right? 75 licenses and not a single black. Then you try to take a vote to block it. But no, your mayor, the great Mayor Lightfoot and her team, they smashed that, and they're going to push it through anyway. Screw you Negroes. If you all are not part of the system, or you all don't recognize what's going on, you're too stupid to recognize what's going on, and you're politicians. They had a white lady and a Hispanic guy come on the radio one day on Maze Jackson's show. Well, I'm there fighting for my people, says the white woman. The Latino guy says, I'm there fighting for my people. And then they said, well, who's fighting for black people? No one. So I don't really mess with politicians, ours, because there's none in there that will go and act a fool. Like I remember Dorothy Tillman used to snap off and go to council, and she had a gun at the council meeting and standing up on top of tables, and she's screaming, black, 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 black. They wouldn't dare do that now. What? You want me to give up this good position to actually fight for black people? You mean this is what I was put in this position to do? Really? Really? Man, I is a house nigger. I tap dance and do what the masters say. And we still ain't got no parts of that $50 million back that was stolen from the Third Ward, where they went ahead and fixed up the Navy Pier in Chicago. Did we? Oh, well, it's just a loss. Then the Mayor Lightfoot's like, okay, the Lincoln Yard deal, you better enjoy it because you're not going to get another $90 million for a project. You ain't going to get it no more. If we're not going to hold our politicians accountable, then we don't need to vote. And I hate to say that because people died for us to have an opportunity. But if all you're going to do is screw your opportunity over for these BS people like my alderman, who I've been waiting a year and a half to get 5 minutes of her time. Screw her. I don't want to talk to her now because all you're concerned with is the Obama Center. I could care less about the Obama Center. Why are we getting the Obama Center? Where's the legislation that Obama put out for black people? Don't tell me this Affordable Care Act and all this other crap. Don't tell me about moving money around so it's easier for us to get student loans. Nobody want to hear that crap. What legislation that has been made specifically for black people to help us to move ahead? I'm waiting. Well, you can get a good public school education. Yes, I went to public school. And I got A education. And I was an honor roll student. And I went to 4 different colleges. And I'm still paying a student loan. And yes, education will move you to a certain level. But education is useless if you don't have a place or a structure to deploy it in. If you don't have a foundation, we don't have a foundation to put our people in, to grow companies. If the plan is to get you in financial debt and then force you to go work for these people, that's not a good plan to me. Knowledge, investments, discipline. These are some of the things we need to look into, to believe in. I mean, what are we doing out here? And we do it all the time, and we have all these great people, all these great minds out here. I listen to a lot of different people, and they're way smarter than me. I actually got to meet Dr. Boyce Watkins. And he'll tell you the stories of when he was a financial professor on the Syracuse campus and how they came after him. And I got to meet Dr. Claude Anderson, who was an economic advisor to 4 different presidents, including President Obama. And I got to meet Claude Anderson, and he told us stories about some of the underhanded things that Mr. Obama did to block legislation that could help black people. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to tell everybody that. I don't believe Claude Anderson would lie to sell a book. I got this whole collection. You can go out and look up Powernomics. You can go online on YouTube and look up Your Black World, Dr. Boyce Watkins. You can go out and look up Yvette Carnell, who was a financial consultant on Capitol Hill for years. You can go out there and look up Dr. Umar Johnson. He may be a little rough around the edges sometimes, but he speaks a lot of truth. You can go out and look up Tariq Nasheed, who does the Hidden Color series. This last one, I was like, I don't know. He's made some money on it. So the makeup was a little heavy for me and everything, but the knowledge that was there is impeccable. Knowledge of self. I'm still going to encourage everybody. I got a black room, and this got bookcases, and this got books that I still haven't even read yet, but I plan to read. I believe in self-educating myself. I think that's one of the biggest problems. We don't know who we are because no one taught us who we are. They taught you what you needed to know to survive in this society. This next decade, I want to do more than survive in this society. I want to thrive. I want to live. I want to see something, even if I get to see a sign that says Black Town, like you see Greek Town or you see Chinatown. I want to see black people not listening to folks that seek to define us by their definition because of the policies and things of this country, that has put people in jails, put people in their graves. I'm still waiting on somebody to show me the records of somebody that actually went to jail for lynching somebody. Well, how does that affect you, man? I mean, these people were killed decades ago, centuries ago. How does that affect you? Let me show you. Don't ask me how it affects me unless you're willing to take part in the experiment. So the next person that says, well, how does that affect you? What do you mean? Give me your address. We gonna come through. This is a nice mansion. This is a nice house. Okay, the waterworks. Boom, 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 boom. Let's go on, put you in the trunk, take you to another continent because nobody needs to know anything. Take your wife, your kids, rape everybody, take all the money. We'll do it for about 150 years. You know, because we'll be able to pass on these traditions to our people. We're going to take all the money. You don't have to worry about money for the next 150 years. Don't worry about none of that. How can I get back to my homeland? No, ain't no homeland, nigga. We can switch the language and everything now. Use a nigga now. We're going to put you to work. Help us to build a whole new continent down in the Caribbean somewhere. On the African continent. Let's do all that. And then 150 years, we'll free you or your family, maybe. Maybe we'll do that. And then we'll answer that question, not for you, but for your great grandson. We'll answer that question for him. And that's where I'm coming from when I created the No PC show and my mentality. Nobody got time for none of this nonsense that you all are spewing out of your mouths when it comes to slavery, Jim Crow, reparations, the killing of black people in this country. We're a little bit over the time, but I haven't opened up the phone lines, but I'm opening it up the last time for this year. If you're on the YouTube side, you can see it right on the screen. It's 872-267-2552. If you want to send us an email, a correspondence, an article, or something that you'd like to see or talk about on the show, you can hit us at the show 1965@yahoo.com. That's the show 1965@yahoo.com. Phone number is 872-267-2552. Hopefully we can change some things up next year. I'm going to seek out people where I can have a conversation for the show instead of just me constantly talking. You know, because other people got opinions and everybody's free to believe what they want to believe, how they want to believe it. And like I tell my daughter, just be willing to stand up and state your position. Believe in what you want to believe in. It's not what I say. I'm not Jesus. I'm no Rhodes Scholar here. I'm just a black man who has lived the experience like so many other black men in this country and been able to escape jail and living conditions and things like that. But that doesn't separate me from my brothers and sisters because we all came over here on that boat together, shackled together. We all got mentally screwed together. We got destroyed together, and we still together as far as I'm concerned. So no matter how I feel about some of my brothers and sisters and what they are doing and what they're not doing, I know we need each other to do anything. And we seem to be the only group in this country that doesn't get the togetherness code. Your good white friends told you, oh, that Trump's horrible. And then they went right on and voted for him. Oh, isn't that terrible what's happening to these people? What about what's happening to us? Oh, well, don't be selfish like that. It's enough for everybody. Why did I care? I was first in line. Oh, come on. This is so long ago. Why are you people still holding on to these things? You got jobs. You're working for us. We like that feeling that you get that, I don't know when you go to work, am I going to have a job at the end of the day? Don't worry about Chad and Becky getting promoted over you, even though you've been here a countless amount of years. Don't worry about that. You got your education. You's a good Negro. Got a nice house, nice car. You making money. Forget about the other Negroes. We got your back. We got your back. Don't worry about it. 2020. It's going to be time for revolutionary thinking, revolutionary understanding, evolutionary thinking. It just means start looking at the world differently. Start looking at yourself differently. Start planning. I have my business. Is it in competition with Microsoft? No, not right now. Not right now, but Microsoft started in the garage, right? So if you're on the YouTube side, you can see that my business is called RPC Computing. We've been open for about a year and a half almost. We're located at 1741 East 71st Street, 773-966-4457. Computer repairs, upgrades, and consultations. We also have a print service. We do document creations, like if you need a paper typed, you need a resume created, you need something converted to a PDF, you need something faxed. We're adding on an audio video section. If you're having an event and you may need someone to come out, play a little music, or bring your documentation and make it available to be shown on a projection screen. We have a give back program, which will be giving 5 laptops back to children in the community. We take donations down at RPC. If you have an old computer that you just not using anymore, and you're thinking about getting yourself a new PC, bring it down. Maybe we can fix that up. Sometimes I reach in my pocket and pull out a little money and invest, and we give it back. We work with the My Brother's Keepers program on 71st and Cornell with Reverend Bailey Gant. We can't keep thinking that what we're doing is helping any of us. Partnering with a company called Copier Plus. Next year, we're going to be doing more things and trying to grow our business, and we're going to be looking for the support of our people, because they don't spend money with us like they expect you to spend money with them. They may come by a trinket or two like that. I've been open for, like I say, a year and a half. 2 white customers. They could possibly be offended because when they come in my shop, there is no American flag, nor will they be. Why would I put a flag of this country in my store until they make some changes that say, you're a real American, Richard? No, I'm not. I'm in the midst of an identity crisis, because when you come here, you'll see an African flag. You'll see a Haiti flag. You'll see a Jamaican flag. Because we're really not sure where we're coming from. But you're not going to see an American flag, and that's no knock on any soldiers or anything like that. My grandfather was in World War II. He is still alive. He is 95. And he told me the stories of how this great country of America treated the black soldiers when they got back. So, miss me with it. There will be no pledge of allegiance to the flag of America. Not at this point in time. And we're going to have to start having that mindset and that thought process of these people are not treating us right because we're not demanding that they treat us right. We can't keep capitulating to a system that is only designed to destroy you, malign you, demonize you, and use you. I thank everybody for any show ideas that you gave me throughout the year, taking a few minutes out your time to just sit here and listen. And I hope in the coming years, the coming decades, that we may all come together and find some common ground that we all as a people will truly get to the promised land. King said he saw the promised land. He knew he wasn't going to get there with us. And then we thought we saw the promised land when Obama came. But apparently, that wasn't it either. That means there's more work to be done. Everybody gets to be a leader in some way and somehow. I don't believe in nobody can be a leader. Be a leader in your household, be a leader in your church, be a leader in your neighborhood, be a leader in your mind, and be a leader in your thoughts. And I'm going to see everybody in 2020. Love you all. We're signing off as we always do. Love, peace, soul. We out of here.
Step out of the car.
No, you don't have the right.
Step out of the car.
You do not have the right to do that.
I do have the right. Now step out or I will remove
I
you.
refuse to talk to you other than to identify myself.
Step
Now if your woman ain't no revolutionary, she'll persuade you to be a fucking slave for the rest of your days. She'll be grooming you on how to behave, teaching you how to coon and buck dance so that you can be safe. If that brother ain't no rider, soldier, no provider, molder of young minds, check it out, you got yourself a bitch. Think about the time that you invested in him. If he's wearing them skinny jeans, you a lesbian. For every 100 black women who ain't locked up, it's only 83 black men remain. Take away 1.5 million black men who might have benefited their women and their children. You don't know a war when it's waged against you, when it makes you drive your baby mama to the clinic just to kill your own. Ain't no legacy to leave behind, cause ain't nobody sitting on your throne. You motherfuckers are asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't stop, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, you asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't fight, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, nigga. Sandra Bland was a rider. She wouldn't have committed suicide, and you a motherfucking liar. It would not be wise to stop when you hear sirens and you see the police behind you, but you don't wanna die. They gon' shoot you if you run. They gon' say that you was going for the police gun. That's why they shot you like 120 times, but you was still coming, so they put another bullet in your lung. Them devils got you praying while they murder, because they know you on that bullshit. They steady with them bull clips and body armor. They kill your women in the street, cause they figure you too weak to do anything about it. You some shit, getting fucked in your sleep. They poison you every time you brush your teeth. You don't care, you behave like a slave. A bitch from the cradle to the grave, on your knees with your hands out, begging cause you wanna be motherfuckers are asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't stop, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, you asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't fight, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, nigga.